to Savita Dental College Lecture Cast and Prosthodontics. Topic for discussion is denture insertion and post-insertion sequelae. Denture insertion includes examination of denture for fit and function. Examination for fit includes evaluation of the denture borders for any sharp margins, adaptation of the denture, border extension and film relief, and evaluation of the aesthetics. Examination for function includes retention, stability, jaw relation, speech, and occlusal harmony. Denture retention is assessed by the verification of the anterior and the posterior seal. Decreased retention may be due to lack of seal or air beneath the impression surface or xerostomia and any neuromuscular controls, which can be treated by either relining or rebasing the denture or advising denture adhesives to improve the retention for the patients. Evaluation of speech includes assessing the ability of the patients to produce the bilabial sounds, dentalveolar sounds, and velar sounds. And occlusal harmony can be assessed either by using an intraocclusal record or by using an articulating paper. Patient instructions include insertion and removal of process, maintenance of the process, avoid night wear, and periodic recall. Patient should be taught how to insert and remove the complete denture. Maintenance of the process includes administration of effective oral hygiene habits and how to clean the dentures using various cleansers available. And patient should be advised not to wear the denture during night. Patient is asked to report 24 hours after denture delivery to assess the immediate tissue reaction. And then the patient is asked to come after 1 week to assess the tissue reactions or any other changes. Then the patient is instructed to visit every 3 to 6 months to assess the bone resorption rate in the patient. Sequelae of wearing a complete denture can be classified into direct sequelae and indirect sequelae. Direct sequelae includes denture stomatitis, residual ridge resorption, flabby ridges, Epulis fissuratum, and indirect sequelae includes atrophy of the muscles and nutritional deficiencies. Denture stomatitis, it's also called as denture sore mouth or inflammatory papillary hyperplasia, and is commonly seen in palatal mucosa. It is usually asymptomatic, but sometimes the patient may complain of burning or itching of the palatal mucosa. Etiology for denture stomatitis can be classified into systemic and local factors. Systemic factors include hormonal imbalance, old age, and diabetes mellitus, whereas local predisposing factors includes irritating denture or ill-fitting denture and xerostomia. Newton's classified denture stomatitis into 3 types: type 1, type 2, and type 3. Type 1 is localized with a pinpoint hyperemia, whereas type 2 is generalized with a diffuse erythema covering the entire or part of the denture covering mucosa, whereas type 3 will be a combination of type 1 and 3. Management of denture stomatitis includes supportive measures, drug therapy, and surgical management. Patients should be advised to clean their dentures after every meal. Patients should be advised not to wear the dentures during night. Antifungal drugs are used as treatment options to treat denture stomatitis, and surgical management includes elimination of deep crypts in type 3 denture stomatitis. Flabby ridge is nothing but the replacement of alveolar bone by a fibrous tissue. It's more commonly seen in anterior maxilla opposing the natural mandibular teeth. It is because due to excessive load and unstable occlusal condition can be treated by relining or rebasing the denture base or modifying the impression with low viscosity impression materials. Traumatic ulcers, they are also known as sore spots, develop within 1 to 2 days after placement of new dentures, and it is mainly due to overextended flanges and unbalanced occlusion, usually treated by correcting the dentures by correcting the overextension of the dentures and correcting the occlusion. Denture irritation hyperplasia or Epulis fissuratum is a benign hyperplasia of fibrous connective tissue. It develops as a reactive lesion to chronic mechanical irritation produced by the flange of a poorly fitting denture or an overextended denture. It is usually seen as a single or multiple flaps of hyperplastic tissues. Treatment procedures includes correction of the denture or the surgical excision of hyperplastic tissue. Burning mouth syndrome, burning sensation in the structures in contact with the dentures without any visible changes in the mucosa. The patient exhibits no overt clinical signs and symptoms, but often complains of dry mouth and persistent altered sensation. It is more commonly seen in postmenopausal women, and the etiology may be systemic or local or maybe psychological reasons. Gagging, it's a normal physiological reflex. It's triggered by tactile stimulation of the soft palate and the posterior part of tongue and fauces, mainly due to overextended denture borders and unstable occlusal conditions. Other systemic conditions which causes gagging includes GIT disorders, adenoids, alcoholism, and severe smoking.